Three men walked into a basement expecting negotiation. What they got was a map of their own graves. February 3rd, 1936. Bumpy Johnson spread photographs across the table. Italian mobsters, police captains, weapons caches, all positioned around Harlem like a noose. The three most powerful black numbers operators in New York stared at the evidence, then at each other, realizing they'd been killing each other while their real executioners watched and waited. "You've got 40 bodies between you in 6 months, Bumpy said, his voice dead calm. "The Italians have counted every single one. And the minute you hit 50, they're coming for all of us." Then Bumpy did something that would change organized crime in Harlem forever. He pushed a contract across the table. Not a peace treaty, a war pact. And the decision these three men made in the next 60 seconds would determine whether Harlem stayed black or became another Italian territory. What did Bumpy show them that made three enemies become brothers? To understand what happened in that basement on February 3rd, 1936, you need to understand what Harlem had just survived. October 23rd, 1935. Dutch Schultz, the white mob boss who tried to take over Harlem's numbers racket by force, was gunned down in a New Jersey tavern. His death should have been a victory for Harlem. Instead, it opened a power vacuum. And power vacuums in organized crime don't stay empty. They fill with blood. Within weeks of Schultz's death, three men emerged claiming control of Harlem's numbers operation. Each controlled a different section of the neighborhood. Each believed they were the rightful heir to Stephanie St. Clair's empire. And each was willing to kill to prove it. Marcus King Thompson controlled everything from 110th Street to 125th Street. He was 45 years old, a former Pullman porter who'd saved every penny for 15 years before buying his first numbers bank in 1928. Thompson ran his operation like a business. Clean books, reliable payouts, no violence unless absolutely necessary. He wore three-piece suits and carried a gold pocket watch. People respected him because he'd built his empire without owing anyone. Raymond Quick Foster ran 125th to 135th Street. Quick was younger, 32, and hungry. He'd grown up in the streets, running numbers since he was 12. He was fast, ruthless, and believed the future belonged to men willing to take risks. Quick didn't just run numbers. He ran dice games, card rooms, protection rackets. His philosophy was simple: diversify or die. He wore flashy clothes, drove a new Packard, and always had 2 bodyguards within arm's reach. And then there was James Deacon Williams, who controlled 135th to 145th Street. Deacon was 50, a former preacher who'd lost his church during the Depression and found God didn't pay bills, but gambling did. He ran his operation with religious precision. His runners tithed 10% of their earnings to local churches. His counting houses were in church basements, and he never operated on Sundays. The community loved him because he gave back. But love doesn't stop bullets. November 1935. The first murder. One of Thompson's runners, a 19-year-old named Thomas Reed, was found in an alley off Lenox Avenue, shot twice in the head. His collection bag was missing along with $400. Thompson blamed Quick. Quick denied it. Thompson sent 4 men to shoot up Quick's card room on 127th Street. Nobody died, but the message was clear. Quick retaliated. One of Thompson's counting houses on 118th Street burned to the ground. $12,000 in cash lost. 3 people hospitalized from smoke inhalation. Deacon Williams stayed neutral at first, but when Thompson's men started recruiting his runners, offering better percentages, Deacon saw it as an act of war. He sent a crew to ambush one of Thompson's collections on 122nd Street. 2 of Thompson's men died. Thompson's response was immediate and brutal. He had Deacon's nephew, a good kid, 21 years old, working his way through City College, beaten so badly he lost an eye. By December 1935, Harlem was a war zone. Numbers runners carried guns. Counting houses had armed guards. Regular people, the ones just trying to place their nickel bets and hope their number hit, were caught in the crossfire, and the bodies kept stacking. 12 dead by Christmas, 23 by New Year's, 41 by the end of January. And watching all of this, taking notes, counting bodies, were the 5 Italian families. Frank Costello, Vito Genovese, Lucky Luciano. They'd tried to take Harlem through Dutch Schultz and failed, but they were patient men. They understood something the 3 black operators didn't. You don't invade a kingdom. You wait for it to destroy itself. Then you walk in and claim the ruins. Bumpy Johnson saw it all. He was 30 years old in 1936, already a legend in Harlem for being Madame Stephanie St. Clair's most trusted enforcer. He'd fought Schultz's men for 5 years, outlasted them, outthought them. When Schultz died, everyone expected Bumpy to claim the throne. Instead, he stepped back, watched, waited. Because Bumpy understood something the 3 operators didn't. The real enemy wasn't each other. January 28th, 1936. Bumpy made his move. He sent identical messages to Thompson, Quick, and Deacon. Same time, same meeting location, same simple message. Come alone, or Harlem dies. The location was the basement of Small's Paradise, neutral ground. February 3rd, 1936. Thompson arrived first. He was cautious. Checked every entrance, every shadow. Quick came next. His bodyguard stationed outside despite Bumpy's instruction to come alone. Deacon arrived last, carrying a Bible-like armor. The basement was dim, lit by a single hanging bulb. A round table sat in the center. 4 chairs. Bumpy was already seated, perfectly calm, smoking a cigar. On the table in front of him was a leather briefcase. Thompson sat down slowly. This better be worth my time, Johnson. I've got a business to run. You had a business, Bumpy corrected. Now you've got a graveyard. Quick bristled. Watch your mouth. We didn't come here to be disrespected. No, Bumpy said quietly. You came here because you're smart enough to know you're dying. You just don't know who's killing you yet. Deacon spoke for the first time, his voice carrying the weight of his former profession. Speak plainly, Bumpy. What do you want? Bumpy opened the briefcase. Inside were photographs, dozens of them. He spread them across the table like cards in a poker game. The 3 men leaned forward, eyes widening as they recognized what they were seeing. Photographs of Italian mobsters stationed on the edges of Harlem, Costello's men on 110th Street, Genovese's crew on Lenox Avenue, Luciano's soldiers near the Triborough Bridge. Every position was marked, dated, annotated. This photo was taken 3 days ago, Bumpy said, pointing to one showing 6 armed men outside a warehouse on 109th Street. Those are Costello's men. They've been there for 2 weeks, waiting. He pointed to another. Genovese's crew, positioned here for a month. 20 men, fully armed, just outside your territory, Deacon. Another photograph. Luciano's people. They've rented 4 buildings on the border of your zone, King. They're not hiding. They want you to know they're there. Thompson's jaw tightened. Quick's hand moved unconsciously toward his waistband. Deacon closed his eyes briefly, as if praying. You think you're at war with each other, Bumpy continued. But you're not. You're doing their work for them. Every man you kill is one less man they have to deal with. Every dollar you waste on bullets is money they don't have to spend. Every week you fight each other is another week they get stronger. He pulled out a map of Harlem, placed it in the center of the table. Red circles marked Italian positions completely surrounding the neighborhood. They're not invading, they're waiting. Waiting for you to hit 50 bodies. That's their number, 50 dead, and they move in claiming they're restoring order. The police won't stop them. Half the NYPD is on their payroll. City Hall won't help. Mayor LaGuardia needs Italian votes, and the black community won't fight. They're tired of the violence, tired of you. Silence filled the basement. Heavy, suffocating silence. Quick spoke first. So what? You want us to stop fighting? Shake hands and pretend everything's fine? No, Bumpy said. I want you to stop being stupid. Thompson stood up, angry. Watch yourself, Johnson. Sit down, King. Bumpy's voice was ice. I'm not your enemy, but if you walk out of this basement without hearing me out, they will be. And you can't beat them. Not alone, not divided, not ever. Thompson sat down slowly. Bumpy continued. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to split Harlem 3 ways. Clean lines, no overlap. King, you keep 110th to 125th. Quick, 125th to 135th. Deacon, 135th to 145th. You run your territories however you want. Your rules, your people, your profits. And what do you get? Deacon asked quietly. 10% from each of you. Not as payment, as insurance. I use that money to pay off cops, buy information, and make sure the Italians stay south of 110th Street. I become the buffer, the enforcer, the one who handles problems before they reach you. Quick laughed bitterly. You want us to pay you to protect us from a threat that might not even come? Bumpy reached into the briefcase one more time. He pulled out a document, slid it across to Quick. This is the Italians' invasion plan. Dates, targets, casualty projections. I got it from a captain in Luciano's organization who owes me a favor. Read the first page. Quick read. His face went pale. He passed it to Thompson. Thompson read, then handed it to Deacon. Deacon's hands shook slightly as he set it down. February 15th, Bumpy said. That's their target date, 12 days from now. They're planning to hit all 3 of your operations simultaneously. Your counting houses, your runners, your families. Total war. And when the smoke clears, they'll own Harlem. Unless you make a different choice. Thompson looked at Quick. Quick looked at Deacon. Deacon looked at the photographs, the map, the invasion plan. What's to stop you from turning on us once we agree? Thompson asked. Nothing, Bumpy admitted. Except I'm from Harlem. I was born here, my people are here. I don't want to see Harlem run by outsiders any more than you do. You can trust me or not. But ask yourself, who's killed more of your people in the last 3 months? Me or each other? The question hung in the air. Deacon spoke first. I'm in. God forgive me, I'm tired of funerals. Quick hesitated, then nodded. Fine. But if you cross us, Johnson, you'll do what? Bumpy interrupted. Kill me? Get in line. The Italians, the cops, Dutch Schultz's ghost, they all want me dead. I'm still here. Not because I'm the toughest, because I'm the smartest. And smart men build alliances, not empires. Thompson was the last. He looked at the other 2, then at Bumpy. Finally, he extended his hand. 10%. Clean territories. And you keep them out. Bumpy shook his hand, then Quick's, then Deacon's. One more thing, Bumpy said. The 41 people who died. Their families get compensation. Equal split between the 3 of you. You pay for the funerals, the hospital bills, the lost wages. You make it right. That's going to cost. Quick started. I don't care what it costs. Bumpy cut him off. Those people died because you three couldn't see past your own greed. You owe them. And you owe this community proof that this treaty means something. All three men nodded. The meeting lasted another hour. They drew exact boundaries on the map, established rules for disputes, created a council that would meet monthly to address problems. Bumpy would chair it. His word would be final. February 15th, 1936, the day the Italians had planned to invade Harlem. But when Costello's men approached 110th Street, they found something unexpected. Every corner had lookouts. Every block had armed men, not fighting each other, working together. Word reached Costello by noon. The black operators had unified. Harlem was no longer divided. Costello called an emergency meeting with Genovese and Luciano. We can still take them, Genovese argued. It's just one neighborhood. But Costello was smarter. A divided neighborhood, yes. A unified one. That's a war we don't need. We've got Brooklyn, the Bronx, Queens. Let them have Harlem, for now. The Italian families backed off. Not permanently, but long enough for the treaty to solidify. For the three operators to prove they could work together. The Harlem Numbers Treaty held for 15 years. Thompson, Quick, and Deacon became known as the Harlem Triumvirate. They didn't always agree. They had disputes. But they never went to war again. Because Bumpy Johnson had taught them something more valuable than territory. Unity is power. The violence stopped almost immediately. Numbers runners stopped carrying guns. Counting houses became safe again. And the community, the regular people just trying to survive the Depression, had their neighborhood back. Bumpy Johnson became the invisible king of Harlem. Not because he controlled territory, he didn't. Because he controlled the peace. And peace, in a world of chaos, is the most valuable commodity. February 3rd, 1936. Three enemies walked into a basement. Three allies walked out. And Harlem stayed black for another generation. Because one man understood that the greatest victories don't come from defeating your enemies. They come from making your enemies realize they're fighting the wrong war. If this story of unity, strategy, and the treaty that saved Harlem moved you, hit that subscribe button. Drop a like. If you understand that real power comes from bringing people together, not tearing them apart. Share this with someone who needs to hear that leadership isn't about being the strongest. It's about being smart enough to see the bigger picture. Comment below. What would you have done if you were one of those three operators? Would you have trusted Bumpy's plan? Turn on notifications, because next week, we're telling the story of how Bumpy Johnson walked out of Alcatraz after 11 years and reclaimed his throne in 24 hours. Remember, in Harlem, respect wasn't given, it was earned. And Bumpy Johnson earned his by saving a community from destroying itself.